Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a warm toned summertime get ready with me. If you wanted to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Alrighty, so I'm looking pale as ever, primed, moisturized. So I know I say this all the time, but I really do want to go a little bit faster than I normally do. I said that last time and my video ended up being like 20 minutes longer than usual, so let's not do that today. I just realized I forgot to prime my eyelids, but that's fine, we'll do it right now. This is the MAC Paint Pot. So today I just wanted to do just like a little kind of like summertime makeup get ready with me. I just feel like when I think of summer, I feel like a punchy kind of cheek, which I'm going to show you what I'm using for that. It's one of my new faves. And I feel like, you know, it's kind of like a lighter base, which I always try to do, but it never really works because when I try to use lighter bases and I'm oily, I feel like they kind of start slipping off. So I always kind of have to add powder. So it's not that it's heavy makeup, but I would say heavier than like your average non-oily person. Like I said, I'm still on the hunt for like the best skin tint, but I totally forgot. So I'm in a group on Facebook called Beauty Chit Chat, which is awesome. The girls are amazing. They'll post like sales, post pictures of new makeup that's come out. You can ask questions, and I totally forgot about this. And actually Tati used it in a recent video, and I'm like, this is so good. Why did I forget about this? So I'm going to use this today. This is a Wet n Wild, if you didn't see, Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, and I have the shade Fair. But even the Fair color I find is not, maybe it is light, but it doesn't look that light, you know what I mean? Like look at it compared, like my arm compared to my face looks darker. So, and I'm not tanned. My face is just paler than pale, which is why I always say I like using a little bit darker foundation than my actual face color, because my face is just ridiculously pale. So I'm going in, I did go in with my primer first, which was the Hourglass primer. I actually really enjoyed the Maybelline primer, no, L'Oreal primer that I used last week, that mattifying one. I think it was the, oh, what is that called? Prime Lab, this one here, 24-hour matte setter. I do find that it looked really good all day, and I just really liked my makeup the way I did it in my video last week, and that was all drugstore. But I was using one of my favorite foundations too, which does keep me a little less oily. But I've used this in like the depths of summer, and I find that I can actually still keep myself like pretty matte, like even though it's kind of like, it's actually like a really light texture. I was gonna say it's kind of gel-like, but it's not. It's just, it feels really sheer, but it still gives you nice coverage. And it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, which is what I really enjoy about it. But yeah, really like this one. I remember I used it, I bought it when I went to the States last summer, I believe. And I remember I had first worn it on a day where it was literally like plus 40. And I was like, well, this is gonna not be good. And it worked on me. So if it can withstand plus 40, then it can withstand anything. But yeah, I totally forgot about this one, and it's such a good one. So if you don't have it, get it, because, and I think that it would work for literally any skin type from what I've seen. Maybe not if you're super oily, but I haven't had any issues. So this is what it's looking like on the face so far. And I always just do this. If you've watched my videos, you would have seen like I always just kind of press it in just to really just get it into the skin. Notice I have a little redness under my nose here. And I wanted to say a quick happy 30th birthday to my cousin. Danielle, love you. I already talked to you today, but just wanted to give you a little shout out. All right. It does look a little glowier than obviously say my tried and true Revlon Color Stay, but it's not anything that's like greasy looking. There's a difference between, for me, there's a huge difference between having a bit of a glow and being oily. Like, I don't want to be oily. I'll be glowy, but I don't want to look greasy where things are just slipping and sliding off your face. And so again, I'm gonna just press that into my skin. And I also find when you do this, it kind of pulls away any excess product too, because with a brush, you're obviously gonna get a little bit heavier coverage than if you're just doing a beauty blender, because a beauty blender, like I said, will suck up some of that product. What I do on my nose though, I don't have anywhere to wipe, so I have a thing right here. What I am going to do for my nose is use, I do this all the time, is use a matte foundation. Sometimes I feel like the more matte stuff you use on your skin, like if you're using too many matte products, it almost makes you look oilier. And the reason I say that is because it's almost like your skin is trying to make up. It's almost like, okay, when you wash your face too often, sometimes that'll break you out even more, or it'll make you oilier because your skin is trying to make up for that oil that it's lacking, and so it's producing more. So sometimes I feel like if I use too many matte products, it's like, help me. So I almost like mixing a glowy foundation with a matte primer, or a glowy primer with a more matte foundation, just to kind of even everything out, you know? I think a lot of people do that, but obviously if you're oily, you just think, I want matte everything. But sometimes what I find is that they give us like too much coverage with the matte products. I don't know if there's a way that they can kind of like shear out the products, because just because we're oily doesn't mean we want the most coverage ever. Like, we want slight coverage, but we just want mattifying coverage. So this is what it's looking like. I'm gonna do my concealer and I'll be right back. I just feel like that's kind of a boring step. I think I'm gonna use the Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and I'll go under the eye with, yes, I repurchased it, okay? And I'm liking it this time, and I'm like, why didn't I like it last time? This is the Prisma Libre Givenchy powder in the shade Voile Rosé number 3. And I will use that, and then I'll put it all over my face for you to see in one moment. Just so you can see a little before and after. Before, after. So. Okie dokie, both eyes are done. I don't know what happened here. I think I forgot to put a little concealer there, but I think it looks good. I got the powder on, so I'm gonna go in with the Givenchy powder on my face. So I'll just show you the difference. look in my mirror here. It's definitely blurring. I think it, for me, it reminds me a lot of the Huda powder. Like, can you see the difference in the pores? I can in my mirror. It's probably really hard to tell on camera. I think when I first tried it, I was kind of like expecting life-altering differences, but I think it's really good. The only reason I bought a mini, so they just came out with these minis, and it's because I wasn't sure, because I did buy it and I returned it because I just wasn't sure about it. But I do think I really like it now that I bought it again. It does what it says it's gonna do, and I think I was expecting it to like completely blur my pores, which now I know nothing will. But do I have things that are just as good? Yes. The Huda powder, like I said, is great. I still have the Peach Perfect powder from Too Faced, which I feel is just as good. And that has like a kind of pinky, peachy undertone to it. And so does the Huda shade that I have, which is Cupcake. I did see that One Size just came out with a new powder, and I'm curious. I'm not gonna buy it though because I have to use these powders, especially that peach one. That needs to be used up because that's an older product that I got off of Glambot, and I'm like obviously thinking it's expired, but hopefully not. But this does just really smooth out the forehead. I will say this doesn't keep me as matte as the Huda powder or the NARS powder. I do find like 3/4 of the day, 3/4 throughout the day, I will have to kind of just get back in there and just kind of touch up and give myself a little patty pat with the powder. And it does have teeny tiny little glitters in it. So if that's not something that you want, don't get this. You can see it. You can't see it if you're just looking at me, but in the sunlight, you can see the little twinkle of a hint of glitter. A hint. But everyone's obsessed with it, so I would give it a try. I would say buy the mini if you really want to try it. They do have a few shades. I don't think they have all of the shades, but they definitely have the pink. And I believe they had the satin. I was contemplating between getting the pink again, or there's one for even fairer skin, which has like a white, I think like a yellowy kind of cream color. I can't remember all the shades, but it's really nice. I forgot my necklace. I never not wear a necklace. That's weird. I'm gonna go in with bronzer. This is the NARS Laguna Bronzing Powder in the shade 00. Yes, I got it. I did. So in one of my videos, I used 02. This is 00. I do find I need to, for sure, build this one up, but I don't have an issue with that. I'd rather I have to build it up than it go on way too heavily and be super hard to blend out. I do really like the shade of this one. It's looking a little orange right now, but in person I feel like it's a little more neutral. You can even tell when I hold it up. It's definitely more of like a neutral tone. So I thought about getting 01. So I have 02, like I said, which I used in a video, and that one works for me as well. But it looked like 01 was a little too warm, just in the pictures that they had. So I thought this one would be best, and it's really good. I don't think they have this one in store though, which is kind of annoying. I hate when they do that because it's like, I want to be able to look at it and swatch it and see if this is going to work for me. But how am I going to do that if it's not in store? So you have to just kind of roll the dice. and order online. But luckily I had seen people like Sophia Sees Beauty try this, and I knew that if it worked for her, then it would for sure work for me, because we generally wear the same color of foundation, and she's very fair like I am. And I know that Lauren May also uses like very similar, if not the same, foundation shades as I do, and Steph's Beauty Stash as well. So if you haven't checked them out, check them all out because they're awesome. Steph, I believe, is spelt with an F, double F maybe. I'll find their pages and link them down below. I know this is more like a contour thing, but I always like bronzer. I use my bronzer as contour. Generally, the rule of thumb, if you're doing makeup, you want to put the bronzer anywhere the sun hits, so you would generally sweep that across the nose and go all the way on the cheekbones instead of, sorry, not the cheekbones, go all the way across the cheeks instead of just doing the cheekbones and just doing like around the perimeter of the forehead. But I don't really care. I kind of just do it 2 in 1. I do what I want. And I think everyone should. I've said this multiple times. I don't think there should be rules. And there aren't really. It's kind of like do whatever you want. So I'm just going to go in a tiny bit more on the forehead with this bronzer. And then I will blend everything. Not a whole lot of kick up. There's a bit, but not a whole lot. And you do get quite a bit of product. I think it's 11 grams, so very nice. So I'm gonna go in with just this is just a Real Techniques powder brush and just blend it a little bit. I'm not really going where I did it up here. I'm just blending out the middle of my forehead here. And for blush, I don't think I've shown this yet. I think I've shown it, but I haven't worn it. House Labs. Somehow I haven't gotten it that fingerprinty. This is the shade Watermelon Bliss. Stunning. It's stunning. I don't think I really have anything like it. The closest I would have would be, well, the Dream Pop is basically like a liquid version of that color, or this one here, which is the Pat McGrath Labs in the shade Electric Bloom. They actually look very similar, but on they don't look similar. This one looks a little more kind of corally. This is Electric Bloom, and this one looks a little more red. So that's the difference. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have a fluff on my nose and it's making me so itchy. Okay, I do think Essence also has a shade that's very similar to this. Don't quote me on that though. I think it's called Bold Heart or something like that. I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure which brush I want to use for this. I tell you, my nose is just itching and itching. Can't find the brush I want to use. Oh, I found it. This is just like an old Nude by Nature brush. I would not recommend this, only because this was a travel brush or a travel set, and like a bunch of them did not come, like they came unglued. It's just, I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend the like more expensive ones, like the powder brush that comes with the or that's meant to be used with their loose powder, that's a really good brush. But the travel ones, or the sets that come together, no. Okay, so I'm just very lightly gonna dip in there, and you see how much product comes off. I dot it off, or I dab it on my hand, and then go in with that shade. And it's just so frickin' pretty. So, have you seen the new Dior blushes? I need to stop buying blushes because I need to use what I have. But like, you're trolling me with all these new blushes, I swear. The Gucci blushes, the Dior blushes. NARS just came out with some. I'm not really interested in those though. They're a liquid, and I heard the staying power is just not great on those ones, so I probably will not be buying any of the NARS ones. But Dior, Rosewood, she's coming home with me. But okay, again, everyone in the US gets everything before us. It was on the Nordstrom site, not even on the Dior site, which doesn't make sense to me, but on the Nordstrom site, they were available, and then they sold out very quickly. Canada doesn't have a Nordstrom anymore. They were just like, peace out, we're gone ASAP. So I'm like, okay, bye. So yeah, there was no way for us Canadians to buy it. So I did check. I was checking Sephora and Dior like every single day until, okay, now we're getting some pigment and now we need to calm down. Until I finally saw that they came up on Sephora. But they say coming soon. Do we know how long it usually says coming soon? Because for the Makeup by Mario ones, it said coming soon only for like a day, and then I was able to get it the next day. I've been checking Dior like every single day, and it still says coming soon. And then I did talk to a beauty advisor, and they were like, yeah, I don't know, just sign up for the notification. And I'm like, I did, but like, give me some info, insider info, girl. But she didn't know. And I'm sorry for the short that I made saying that the Gucci blushes were coming out on the 24th of May. I talked to a Gucci rep on the Gucci Canada site, and he said they're coming out on the 24th. And I said, oh, on Sephora too? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, okay, awesome. 24th rolls around, I look, not there. I look on the Sephora site, not there. Still not there. So I'm really sorry for making that short saying they were coming out on the 24th, but that's the information I was given. And then I talked to another rep on the same day and said, hey, just wondering if you know when those blushes are coming out. And again, the response was, sign up for the notifications. And I'm like, I obviously did. But I'm like, why was the guy able to give me a date and then the girl wasn't? I'm like, what? Anyway. So this is what we're looking like. Is it a little much? Probably. Will I probably add more before I'm done? Probably. But it's just so pretty. This side always, like, I don't know why I always have more on this side. I don't know if it's like the lighting in my room. Like, it looks like I don't have that much until I'm done, and then I'm like, whoa. Okay, so we're gonna use the Hollywood, no, it just says Hollywood, sorry. Glow Glide Face Architect Highlighter in Champagne Glow from Charlotte Tilbury. Also, if you live in Canada, I probably wasn't gonna buy this anyway, but did you notice that we don't have the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer? Where is it? I looked on Sephora Canada and it's not there. Like, what's happening? Is she leaving Canada? Like, what's happening? Somebody tell me. Because we did have all those eyeshadow palettes go on sale, but they're not on sale anymore. So I am so sorry. I feel like I have a dog hair inserted in my nose. But that's what we're looking like. I am going to go in with a shadow palette that I haven't tried on camera yet, but I have used quite a few times. And I really like the way this looks with this with this blush. It's the Morphe No. 2 palette. It's called Ready in 5 eyeshadow palette, and it's in the shade Malibu. So I'll show you what that looks like. This one has really good reviews. I've seen others like within this family in different shades that don't have great reviews, so I think this is probably the best one. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is, why do I get confused with this every time? Sunbaked. So I think this is Tan Lines and this is Sunbaked. The middle is Sun-Kissed Glow, Beach Glitter, and then Out on the Sand. So we're gonna go in with this one here. Again, that is Sunbaked. Oh my God. And it's funny because I got super used to wearing like a lot of cool tone shadows, and I'm like, I will never go back to warm shades. And then I tried this one, and I tried a couple other warm tones, like the Smoky Quartz, for instance. And I love them. And I'm like, okay, well, I like that I can kind of go in between warm and cool. Because I don't want to just be stuck in one kind of makeup box, you know? There's just some days where I'm like, ugh, I do not want to wear cool tones today. I'm looking pale. I just want some warmth to the skin. And then other days I'm like, ew, I do not want to wear warm shades. I just want to go in with cool tones. I'm sure everybody feels this way. So I'm going to go in with Tan Lines, that deeper shade. I'm just using like an old Naked Honey brush. This is an Urban Decay brush. I like it because I can kind of do my whole eye look with it, because I just use this for blending and for fluffing on that lighter shade. And then with the end here, I'll just use that deeper color. It's pretty. And then I'll go back into that lighter one and just kind of blend it out again. You don't have to add more product. I don't know why I didn't really need it. And then what I like to do is go in with just like a flat brush, and I'm gonna go in with that lightest shade there, just kind of brighten up the lid. This is such like an old school look. This is so, I don't know, like 2016, when everyone liked to wear super warm tones and cool tones were just like not, they were like unheard of. So this kind of just looks whatever right now, but once I get the eyeliner on, it just really just pulls it all together. I'm wondering if I want to do, Fenty has this fly liner, which I've been really liking, which is in the shade in Big Truffle No. 2, or do I want to use my good old reliable Urban Decay whiskey. I think I'm gonna go with whiskey because I've been using this quite a bit lately. Should I show you what that looks like though? I'll use it in another video. If I can find whiskey, that'd be great. Nope. I always have it side by side with my other liner. So I always mix them up. This is Black Market. I'll be right back. Found it. Okay. So I'm just gonna go in with whiskey. Probably should have sharpened this. It's a little, coming on a little thick. And then just kind of extend it a bit. And then I'll take that reddish, kind of deepest shade and go in with a liner brush. This is the Makeup by Ariel brush in the shade number A16. So I'm going in with that darker shade again. And I just kind of like messily blend that in. I've been having issues with my mascara lately. I don't know if it's like the eyelash growth cycle that I'm going through right now, because I do use a lash serum, but I know that you go through cycles where you like will lose lashes and then you have like a huge growth spurt. But right now I don't know what's going on with mine. Every time I put my mascara on, it gets like super clumpy. I don't know if I'm just like not rinsing my mascara off properly. I feel like I am. I mean, it feels like they're clear of any mascara residue, but I don't know. I'm like, what is going on? Like, all my favorite mascaras are just not working for me. So I think it's just a me issue, as usual. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go back in. I didn't put anything back on this brush, but I might actually go in with that deeper shade again and just deepen out the outer edge here. And then again, go in with that blending brush, no extra product. And then I will go in with my mascara. So I'm gonna go do the other eye and my mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so brows and lashes are done. I had much better luck with my eyelashes today, thank God. I think maybe it was a mix between the fact that my mascara is newer and I like when it has a little bit of like dryness to it because I feel like it just layers on better. So I feel like it went on better today. I just used the CoverGirl Exhibitionist in the silver tube, not waterproof. And then for brows, I used, same as I always do, the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen in the shade Blonde, Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, and then I went in with the Maybelline brow pencil, which is the Express Brow Ultra Slim Pencil in the shade, I think it's soft brown. Yeah, soft brown, this guy here. So I've been filling in my brows first, then going in with my brow setter, and then doing just anywhere that needs a little bit of extra feathering with the brow pen. So we're gonna do a lip, and if you can see, I do have a little bit of sheen on my forehead. I could leave that, but my nose is still itchy, I'm sorry. But I'm going to just take it down a tiny bit, and I'm gonna use the Huda powder in the shade Cupcake, and just on my forehead. The rest of the face is fine. I just find when I have a sheen, like too much sheen on my forehead, it almost makes my forehead look more wrinkly. So, gonna add just the tiniest bit more bronzer. Didn't add more product, just going in with the same brush. And my brows are looking pretty dark today. I don't know why, but that's fine. I really liked this shade that I used last time. This is the Hot Sand Maybelline. You can still get it on Amazon. I don't know if you're in the US, you might still be able to get it in store, but I'm not 100%. But Amazon for sure. I can't find it on Amazon Canada. It's like $40 for one lipstick. I'm like, I'm tempted, but not. And then I bought it from Amazon.com, and now it says can't be shipped to my location. And I'm like, but I bought it already before. Why? Why now? Hate when they do that. It's like, I will pay the shipping. Just send it to me. So this is the NYX brow pencil. I used this one last weekend as well in nude beige. As you can see, I have very cool toned lips. And this is why I think a lot of cool tones just look better on my lips. If you're following the neighbor dog saga, she's moving. I don't think she got kicked out. I hope not, because then I would feel really bad. But the dog again is barking all morning. But we live in condos, so we noticed that it's up for sale. God, I hope we get like a nice little old lady that's quiet. Pray for us. Okay, so here I am with Hot Sand again. I squished it. So it does have a little bit of warmth to it. I would say just like the tiniest bit. I just kind of like dab it in. Should I do anything else to do a little Gucci? I'm sure you're so sick of seeing this. It's Carol Beige. Okay, let's look at the completed look. I just think this blush is just so pretty, and it just looks really nice with a warm toned eye. So yeah, this is my kind of summertime warm toned makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed, and hopefully will subscribe and like and comment. What do you want to see next? I want to keep going with the videos, but I'm just kind of like, I don't want to only do like new products. I want to do stuff that you're interested in. Do you want me to do like a shop my stash, which is kind of what I did today, using some newer products, or if you just want to keep seeing new, yeah, let me know. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and I love ya. Bye.